Hello everyone, thank you very much for clicking on my talk. I'm going to be talking to you today about a chemistry escape room that we made here at the University of Surrey. My name is Nathaniel Bingham and I am a lecturer here, and it was all in the vein of trying to improve the relationship between personal tutors and their tutees with a little bit of teaching along the way. So just as a mini sum up, because some of you probably don't know what an escape room is basically you get locked in a room with some of your friends and you have to try to escape. The way you do that quite often is there's loads of puzzles that are set around the room, things that are hidden, and you have to find things like numbers that unlock number locks, or do lots of little puzzles, find keys that are hidden somewhere, and then eventually that leads you to escaping the room. Normally there's a set timer, so you're given an hour, 45 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is, and you have to escape within that certain amount of time because something happens if you don't. Maybe you get locked in the room forever, maybe there's a poisonous gas or something that kills you if you're in there for an hour, etc, etc. Now these rooms are often sought out for a leisure activity, so quite often you'll go and do this with your friends, and there's Doctor Who based escape rooms out there, there's Harry Potter based escape rooms, just anything that you can think of, there are escape rooms based on that. I did a biolab based escape room with a bunch of my friends. Anything you can think of, they are out there and they are quite fun to do. Now, why I'm talking about escape rooms is basically I was doing a qualification in higher education, and as part of that they wanted us to come up with a research project. Now I like gamification, I like of learning, I like putting games in my lectures and in my tutorials and things like that, so I was interested in things like escape rooms anyway, because they are great for team working skills, communication skills, problem solving skills, all of those, and they have been researched in educational settings, so trying to improve the teamworking skills of students, and also trying to teach them or reinforce learning by replacing some of the puzzles that are normally found in escape rooms, which are just kind of general knowledge or general skills based puzzles, with more course specific puzzles. So in the case of chemistry, it would be, I don't know, doing a titration to try and get a number rather than just finding the number some other way. So chemistry escape rooms have been done. I'm not reinventing the wheel by doing a chemistry escape room, but there is a little novelty in the fact that our room is unique and we put in some unique puzzles in there. But the unique part is I was trying to improve the relationship between tutors and tutees by involving them, a tutee group in the escape room itself. So it's important to build strong bonds between a personal tutor and a personal tutee, and try and break down those barriers between a tutor and tutee. You think that a personal tutee or a tutee needs their personal tutor. If they ever have an issue at the university, it's their first point of contact, go to their personal tutor, and they need to feel comfortable to be able to approach that personal tutor. So the idea was we put this escape room in week one, and they do it as a tutor group, and then hopefully it starts to break down some of those barriers between them and makes the tutor more approachable. So the room itself was basically, we locked a round bottom flask in a fume hood, left it spinning, and we locked that with key, because in our fume hoods we have this little lock part which locks it so you can't lift up the sash. And we said to the students that and the tutor that this reaction is going to explode in 45 minutes if you don't quench it. So up in the top right corner there's a little vial. They need to put that into the into their reaction mixture within 45 minutes, otherwise everything explodes. Obviously it doesn't really, it's just some HCl and some sodium hydroxide, but that's part of the fun. So they need to find a key to open this up, and that is where the fun commences. So here's a mini video of the escape room taking place. I'll just leave it up to you to watch and enjoy, and then we'll talk about some of the results.
Hmm? Hmm?
So I hope you enjoyed that. So basically what we found out was that staff and students both really enjoyed taking part in the escape room. It was a nice fun experience. Tutors wanted to do it again as long as we changed it up a little bit for them the next year so they wouldn't remember the puzzles and just speed right through it. And the tutees wanted more events like this throughout the year. They thought it was a great way to break down the barriers between the two. They really enjoyed that aspect of it and they thought it was a great idea. We know obviously that just this by itself, this one event isn't going to completely revolutionize the relationship between personal tutors and tutees. So we know we put in one escape room and then suddenly perfect relationships blossom. It's obviously not going to happen, but it's a good starting point. It's a great icebreaker activity that we found to put in place, but obviously we wanted to follow that up with some other events, which is the future plan. So we've now set this as a timetabled event in Welcome Week, so now this is going to be a compulsory event for all personal tutor groups. We've also created 2 more escape rooms so that they complement the first one and that we can get all tutor groups going at the same time. We can run 3 in parallel so we can get it through a lot quicker. We're also planning on creating an online version so that personal tutor groups can take part throughout the year, as well as another activity that they can do in their weekly meetings, and also trying to introduce some of these other personal tutor-tutee events, so things like pub quizzes, coffee mornings, things like that, to help try and make the personal tutor-tutee meeting a bit more interesting and a bit more social, rather than just come talk about what happened in the last week with lectures and things like that. Make it a bit more sociable, make the personal tutor become a bit more approachable. And that was the main thing we took from this, was that there's this great importance for having these activities between tutors and tutees, and that both sides were interested in doing some more activities. So that's what we're starting to plan now for this year as well, is putting some other activities in place, because both the tutors and the tutees are getting quite bored of just meeting every week and just talking about lectures and things like that. It does get a bit stale after a while, so we're trying to put in some extra activities to make that a bit more interesting. So there we go. Thank you guys very much for listening. Sorry if we got through everything a bit fast because I only had 10 minutes for this video, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask them now, or if not, then email me after the session. And yeah, always left to say is thank you to also all of these people who are involved in some way in the project, either helping me in setting up the room or in making that fun video midway through, or also in the study part of the escape room. So thank you all very much, and any questions?